Hello everyone, I hope you are fine. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about the contrasting links in English language. In spite of, despite, although, even though, and though. In spite of, despite, although, even though, and though. We are going to discover how to use them and when and for what we use them. Look at these examples to see how although, even though, in spite of, and despite are used. Although we disagree, I think she is a brilliant speaker. Even though we don't agree, I think she is a brilliant speaker. In spite of the law, people continue to use mobile phones while driving. Despite the law, people continue to use mobile phones while driving. It's illegal to use mobile phones while driving. People still do it though. So, guys, although, even though, in spite of, and despite are used to link two contrasting ideas or show that one fact makes the other fact surprising. They can all be used at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. Let's have the first example. Here we find despite at the beginning. As we said, we can find them at the beginning or the middle or the end of the sentence. So, despite the rain, we enjoy the festival. We enjoy the festival despite of the rain. So, guys, we use here despite to make a contrasting between two ideas or two sentences. The rain and we enjoy the festival. So here, despite the rain, it contrasted. We enjoy the festival. So here, why we are using despite and that's why we are using all of the link contrasting links. We enjoy the festival despite the rain. The main difference between although, even though, in spite of, and despite is that they are used with different structures. So, guys, you can say that they mean the same meaning, but they are using with different structures. They are using with different structures. Let's have just explanation where we use in spite of and despite, and then we move to the although and even though. After spite, after in spite of and despite, we use a noun or gerund or a pronoun. So guys, what is a gerund? Gerund, it is a verb plus ing. Okay? So let's have examples. They never made much money in spite of their success. Here we find in spite of followed by a pronoun. As we see here, we can say we can find in spite of or despite followed by a noun or gerund or a pronoun. So here we find in spite of followed by a pronoun. In spite of the pain in his leg, he completed the marathon. Here we find in spite of followed by a noun. Despite having a headache, I had a great birthday. Here we find despite followed by a gerund, have plus ing, having. The train was cancelled. In spite of that, we arrived on time. In spite of that, we arrived on time. Note that it is common to use in spite of and despite with the expression the fact that, followed by a subject and verb. We can find, guys, the fact that after in spite of, just to enhance the speech or the sentence. In spite of that, we arrived on a time. In spite of that, we arrived on time. Guys, we see that we can find in spite of or despite followed by a noun or gerund or pronoun. But here we find in spite of followed by a pronoun and verb. Why? Because we have that. Okay, just you have to know this one. In spite of that, we arrived on time. Although, even though, although, even though. After although and even though, we use the subject and verb. After although and even though, we use the subject and verb. Even though it's slightly stronger and more emphatic than although. even though it's slightly stronger and more empathic than although. Like if you said, guys, even though it equals 80% and although it equals 60% of emphasizing. Okay, I enjoyed the course, although I would have liked more grammar practice, although followed by a subject and verb. Although we saw each other every day, we didn't really know each other. Although again followed by subject and verb. Even though she spoke very quietly, he understood every word. She didn't get the job even though she had all the necessary qualifications. Also, here we have though can be used in the film. I thought the music was beautiful. Though can also go at the end of the second phrase. This way of expressing contrasting ideas is most common in spoken English. We waited ages for our food. As an example, the waiter was really nice though. He waited ages for our food. The waiter was really nice though. So guys, you try to answer this exercise. Thank you for your watching, guys, and I hope you can share the video with your friends and you click like and subscribe, and thank you again.